What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Vincent. In today's video, we're going to discuss on how you should budget. So I will first of all explain on how you can track and know how much you're spending. And then we're going to see how you can allocate your money better so you can budget better. If this all sounds good to you, stick to the end because we have a lot of useful stuff and useful tips for you to implement, and you can learn a lot from this. In my channel, you can expect to find a lot of lifestyle and university stuff. Like today, we talk about budgeting as university student, but I also talk about SFU, talk about lifestyle here in Vancouver, a lot of food. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing. Alright, let's start with number one, which is your magic number. Essentially, this magic number is the amount that you spend and how much it costs you to live your current lifestyle. Basically, all you need to do is to calculate how much you need to spend on food, on rent, on groceries, on other subscription, your personal life, entertainment, and transportation, health, insurance, and all this thing. And you just gotta list it out how much it costs every month. But it will be hard if you never track your money. So I have an app recommendation called Money Manager, which you can find here and link in the descriptions down below, which is actually a free app and I'm not affiliated with it. It's not sponsored. I've used this app for a long time and I found it extremely useful. So you can check it out. It's really simple. Basically, you just log whatever spending you have, whatever you spend it in cash or card or maybe gift card, and if you have any income, and you can see it by the end of the month, how much you spend, how much everything costs, and that way you can see where your financial life is and how much you're spending every month basically. But if that's too tedious for you, there's also a hack where you can just go to your bank account and see your bank statement, your debit card statement, your credit card statement. But obviously, if you're living in a country where you use a lot of cash, for example, in Canada, 99% of time we're gonna use card. We never even carry cash around. So it's really easy to track like this. But you're living in, let's say, my home country in Indonesia, we almost never use card. We mostly use cash. And when we're using cash, it's not that easy to keep track because there's no statement unless you keep the bill. So it's best to use this kind of app where you note down every time you spend so you know how much you're spending pretty accurately. For you who already have and use credit card, one little tips that I want to give for you is that make sure you spend less than 20% of the credit limit and always make sure that you paid it off every week or even every day. This is to make sure that you have zero balance every day, and whenever they want to report it to the credit bureau, it is lower than 20%. So once you paid it off, you can spend it again, but make sure you paid it off because you definitely don't want to accumulate credit card interest. Now, let's talk about how you should allocate your money. There are two methods that I like, which is first of all, the pay yourself system, and the second is the bucket system. Let's talk about the pay yourself first. I'm pretty sure, especially if you're in finance, if you're in business, you heard of the saying that you need to pay yourself first. And what is it? Basically, it means that whenever you have a paycheck or you get any sort of income, pay yourself at least 10% or maybe even 15 or 20% depending on your income. This is the chart that I recommend, depend on your income and how much you should save and how much you should pay yourself. But usually the base is that 10% is the best. But the simplest way to look at this is that every time there's a money coming in, transfer 10% of it into your saving account or maybe another account that you know you won't touch. This essentially allows you to save more of whatever you earn, and therefore you won't spend all of it. In the end of the day, like after your paycheck, you won't end up with nothing. You still have some saving, which it will accumulate, and one day you can put it into investment, or maybe you can buy some sort of stocks or real estate or a lot of different things that you want. Now, the second system, which is the bucket system, is a little bit complex, but it's a little bit organized because there is no thinking needed. Basically, it divides into 5 buckets, where you have 60% on necessity, 10% on emergency fund, 10% on investment, 10% on learning, and another 10% on fun. This is basically means that you can only spend 60% of your earning. Whatever you earn, you can only spend 60%, and the other 40 you need to allocate to the emergency fund, where you heard about the emergency fund. A lot of people talk about this. It is the rainy day money, where if there's anything happen, like there's like this emergency happen, you have money to solve it. And for investment, this is usually for maybe you want to buy stocks, you want to buy bonds, maybe you want to invest in something. For young people, especially us as university student, maybe you don't want to fully put it to stocks. If you want, you can also put it into learning money, which is you can invest it in maybe buying books, learning courses, attending seminars, workshop, or maybe to meet some people, a lot of things that related to learning, and the other 10% is for fun, which is for whatever you want. The reason that we have this 10% fun bucket is that so that if we want something, for example, if you make a certain amount of money and you want to buy a new watch, let's say, or a new shoes, you can use the fun money that you accumulated, and there's no guilt because you know that those money are for those kind of pleasure related things. Now in both scenario, the number doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be, oh, you need to pay yourself 10% or you can only spend 60% on your necessity, because we know that life isn't always like that. Let's say you are a full-time student right now and you have a part-time job which brings you, let's say, 1,500 a month. If you already spent 1,000 on rent, that's already 2/3 of the percentage, right? So it's more than 60% of the bucket alone. So at that case, maybe you wanna either move to a cheaper place or maybe you wanna share with someone. So find a way that you can reduce the amount that you spend. And also you can stretch it up a little bit. So maybe you spend 80% on necessity and you have the other 20% you can allocate 10% for emergency and 5% for investment and 5% for fun, let's say. But basically you can adjust that into your needs so that you're still comfortable but you still have money saved. Now that is the spectrum that a lot of people talking, which is live below your means, save your money, don't buy a latte coffee, just make yourself some breakfast, make yourself the coffee, which is fine, but that's only one side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum is that you need to make and accumulate more money. Because think about it, if your income is $1,000 a month and you're trying to save $100 a month, even if you do that for a year, that's only $1,200, which is nothing significant and you cannot really buy a lot of things with it. But if you can increase your income, let's say from 1,000 to 2,000 or 2,000 to and then 2,000 to 4,000, let's say. When 4,000 and you save 10%, which is $400, times that by 12 is $4,800, which is way more than that $100 that you save. This way you can accumulate more money, which means that you can invest more in your investment and invest more in your learning and emergency fund. Because let's face it, no one needs a lot of expensive stuff, so you can get away with increasing the income that you make without experiencing lifestyle inflation. This way that obviously your rent is still 1,000 a month. The more that money you make, you can now allocate a lot of investment. You can buy stocks, bond, maybe someday invest in real estate, crypto, whatever that you understand. Remember, the one that you understand, not the trends. And whatever the left, you can do it with other things. Maybe you can invest emergency fund, put it there, or you can buy gold. You can maybe just have some fun, buy some another watches. It's up to you basically. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any question. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, share it to your friends and someone who you might think need it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so you won't miss any video that I'll upgrade. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you again next Saturday.